Hi, Long Beach Unified students. It's good to be with you today. You have really been on my heart and mind in the last week. You always are, actually, but more in the last week. And today, I wanted to talk to you about a word that you have likely heard, maybe even heard recently. The word is trauma. And trauma is a word that's made its way into our everyday language that actually means something really specific. Having a trauma means that you've had an experience that is so shaking to you that it actually creates a memory that gets stored in your body. And with some of those experiences, there can be some what we call triggers or reactions to things that happen that cause you to remember or recall a whole series of experiences. And in the last week in our community, there has been a lot of trauma that has happened. And I believe that there's been a lot of trauma that has been recalled by people in our community. So one of the things that I wanted to talk with you about is just the fact that that's happening. We are all having different experiences in this time. In some of our communities, there has been a lot of police presence. There's been a lot of helicopters overhead, there's been fireworks, and there's been a lot of intensity. In other parts of our community, there has been very little change to the way that people are normally living. And so I want to continue to call that out. It's something that I have talked a lot about with you in our conversations together, and that is about the fact that as a community, we're having one experience, but places in our community are having really different versions of the same experience. So what can help with this idea of trauma? What can be really helpful? And it calls me to think with you about the idea of safe space and asking you to think about what is a safe space for you. How can you create those spaces or access those people? The other thing that it calls me to think about is having grace with one another. And the idea of having grace is really just the idea of recognizing that people may be struggling right now in ways that we don't even know. Something that looks like a reaction to one small thing might actually be a reaction to a really bigger thing or a bigger experience that people are feeling. And that's that effect of the trauma that I'm talking about. The other thing that I want to encourage is just tuning into one another. Ask people in your family how they're doing. Ask your neighbors how they're doing. Reach out, because reaching out forges a different type of connection, and it's good for everybody. And then lastly, stay close. Stay close to people that you care for and that care for you, and find those places to be with people so that you can hunker down together and that you can have those places that feel really good. I want you to know that at the school district right now, we are working really, really hard to make plans for what fall will look like for you. And we are making those plans with the input of a lot of people who are administrators, people who are teachers, people who are parents, and including some students. And so we are trying to take the information that is coming to us from many different channels and put that information together so that we can have a really good plan to serve our students when fall comes. Because we know that the safest place for you to be is likely in our schools, and we want you back with us. So take good care. Know that I am thinking about you as well as all the other people that are working hard here in Long Beach Unified. I didn't wear a wig this week because some of the things that we're dealing with and talking about feel too serious for a wig, but I can promise you next Wednesday, be on the lookout because I've got a good one coming for you. Take good care.